What it do, sir? It's your boy Bright, aka C1. We back with a new video. You know what I'm saying, we got 25 tips. You know what I'm saying? 25 tips to help y'all get better at the game before the game even comes out. You know what I'm saying? We watching Joe Knows and we watching Cold Man. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna watch day tips and then we're gonna put our little spin on it, put our opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. They already got emotional, so we don't really gotta shout them out too much. So let's get straight to it.
Builds to their fullest can be time consuming and challenging. So I'm here to give you 10 mistakes to avoid when creating your build on 2K26. Drop a like on the video for me and let's get right into it. The first one regards the new Badge Max +1 and +2 system. So understanding this is very important, and I'm gonna explain a few reasons why. You're gonna get a Badge Max +1 in the tier 1 and tier 2 slot. You're also going to get a Badge Max +2 in the tier 1, tier 2 slot. And then you're going to get an extra Badge Max +1 and Badge Max +2 through the build specialization. Utilizing these badge...
Yeah, I heard Basketball talk about this today. We got this over on the right side, +1. So you might get an extra +1 too right on the right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Maxes is going to be very important in terms of maximizing your build's potential. And there's some mistakes you could make. For example, if you're a build with a 99 rebound and you pick the rebounding build specialization, those extra +1 and +2 Badge Max slots can only be applied to rebounding. But since you already have a 99 rebound, your rebounding badges are on legend. You're not going to be able to put those Badge Max +1 and 2s on anything. So it's
It wouldn't make sense to max out your build. If you're gonna put the +2 badges on something, you gotta put on like a gold badge, gold hollow, only gold or silver badges. You know what I'm saying? You should do it. So let's say, like, well, pretty much what he said. If you got 99 rebounding, why would you put it on your rebounding? It wouldn't make no sense. Whenever you have silver and gold, is where you should try to put your +2s on to make your build more like diverse.
very important you pick a build specialization that's going to allow you to not only use those specialized cap breakers, but those specialized Badge Max +1 and 2 slots. It's also very important that you pay attention to badge tiers. Depending on the height of your build, certain badges are going to fluctuate between tier 1 and tier 2. This could be the difference between using your Badge Max perks on very valuable badges all across the board, or having to waste it on a less valuable badge because you weren't paying attention to which badges were in the tier 1 and tier 2 slots. Pay attention to your badge layout and all these new Badge Max slots to make sure you're able to utilize them on more valuable badges. Next up, with pure green windows returning to 2K26, it's going to be more important than ever to find the biggest green...
Before we get on to this is something I want to know. I don't know. Maybe y'all know. Maybe he knows. Who knows who watched the video? If I make my build to, like, let's say if I make my build to have cap breakers. So like, let's say I put my +2 badges on Limitless to get my Limitless from like gold to red. But then I get enough cap breakers now to where I can get the badge itself without using my +2 badges from cap breakers. Does that unlock the +2 shit to where I can change to something else now because I already got enough 3-ball now? That's what I want to know. Or you got to remake a whole new build now? That's how I was trying to wonder that and figure that out, because so you're going to make your build based off right now, not off certain stuff. So like right now you make a build, it has like a 91 3-ball. And now you put your and that's like silver limitless. Now you put your +2s and make a Hall of Fame. But let's say now you got cap breakers, now to where you can put your 3-ball to a 93 to where you unlock the badge itself without actually using your +1 or 2 to get it. So now that you did that, does that let you put your +2 badge somewhere else? Can you change that later on, or is it stuck there forever? That's what I want to know.
Window jump shot bases for your specific build. And NBA 2K Labs has you covered. They have a bunch of free tools on their website, but what you're really looking for is under the premium section, the custom jump shot data. This is an absolute cheat code every year on 2K. This data contains...
Look, I'm going to put you on to the method, because 2K Labs ain't my friend. They ain't doing me no deals. So, I don't know if 2K Labs is. They used to be like $5, $7 a month. So the method is, I'm giving y'all tips now. I'm putting you down now. If you got a friend group, let's say we got a friend. I got a group chat, oh my God, like 20 of us in there that we've been playing the game together since like 16. It's like 20 of us in the group chat. One person buys it. We all put like $1 in or 50 cents in. You know what I'm saying? Because a bunch of us. And we all just using one account. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense for 20 of us to get the account. One person gets the account. We all use the same person account. And yeah, we split it.
Statistically tested jump shots for your specific build, giving you the biggest green windows and the fastest
Like share Netflix accounts.
releases, giving you an edge over the competition. I personally use this database for all my builds. If you're interested in access to this, use code Joe at checkout for a big discount. I cannot recommend NBA.
And you can use code Joe when you buy it, but you can split it with your homies. You know what I'm saying?
2K Lab enough. Animations could be the difference between you hating your build and loving your build. So making sure you have the attribute requirements necessary to unlock the animations you want should be very high on your priority list. Missing an animation threshold by a few attribute points is one of the most frustrating things you could do with a new build. So make sure you pay great attention to what attribute requirements are needed for the animations that you want to unlock. The newly added animation glossary is something you could utilize to try to make sure that you're not missing any attribute requirements needed for the animations that you want.
I don't know whose idea was this to add this in 2K. Give that guy a raise. Great idea.
But if you're going to make the most optimized build possible for yourself, you're going to want to have the most optimized animations available for your MyPLAYER. Next up are cat breakers. And I know some people are saying, I already know about cat breakers. I use them in 2K25. They are slightly different this year. So let's break this down quickly so that you don't make a mistake when it comes to your cat breakers. First reminder I want to give you, your player has to have the ability to unlock the attribute that you're going to apply the cat breakers to. For example, if your build caps out at a 96 3-pointer, you cannot apply cat breakers to then push it to a 99. So when you're selecting your height, weight, and wingspan, make sure you have the capability to unlock the attributes that you want to apply your cat breaker.
We all know that. But something again I want to know, maybe y'all know, I don't know. On 25, you only have 5 cat breakers for one slot. On 26, can you do more than 5 on one slot? Something I want to know.
There's 2. For example, you could have a 94 3-pointer with the potential to get to 99, add 5 cat breakers, and now you have that 99 3 that you were looking for. Now, a new feature with cat breakers is you can now apply them to lower rated attributes and get bigger returns on one cat breaker, sometimes reaching a double-digit attribute boost. Or you can apply it to a highly rated attribute for your +1 per cat breaker boost. When creating your builds, you're going to want to plan ahead.
The thing about this, we saying you gotta plan ahead, but it's like you can't plan ahead because you won't even know what you're gonna get. Like right here, right? You won't see this screen until you unlock cat breakers. So you won't even know if right here you saw agility gives him +2, but everywhere else it gives him +1. If it's like high up in the 80s, so you can't even predict that until you get cat breakers. So you won't even know until like you get like at least couple of days into the game. I don't know how long. We don't even know how long it's gonna take to get cat breakers.
About what you intend to do with your cat breakers, unless you just plan on creating a whole new build once you unlock the cat breakers. But like we said,
but you can guarantee predict for at least +1. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, some of them have +5, +8, some have +12. This one that's in the 80s agility, it has +2. You can't predict the +2s in the 80s. You know what I'm saying, but you can at least predict +1. So if you can make your build, you can predict cat breakers off at least +1.
Builds are expensive. Sometimes you want to plan in advance that, hey, by the time I unlock my cat breakers, I already know where I'm going to use them. And lastly, when it comes to cat breakers, remember,
It looks like because this is 82 right here, and this is +2. No, I don't know.
Remember, you're going to have to unlock these cat breakers. You are not starting with cat breakers on your build. Even the build specialization cat breakers that have to be applied to a specific attribute category, you're going to have to unlock them through the build specialization quests. High risk versus low risk builds. I've talked about this on my channel for years. If you're someone that's planning on making a couple builds at the start of the year, let's say you plan on making a guard and a center build, make the lower risk build first, which is the center. It's a much harder task to mess up a center build than it is a guard build. You can make your center build, start playing the game, and see how it is. Let everybody else make mistakes with their guard builds, take in that information, and then tweak it to make the guard build you want to make. Guard builds are easier to mess up because there's more that goes into them. You have to make sure you're getting specific dribble moves, specific...
He's right, 100% agree with him, but let me add my 10 cents down. That is true. Center builds is harder to mess up. It's easier to make. Upgrade rebounding, upgrade strength, and saying guaranteed you're decent. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be bad on the center. Set screens, roll. Maybe if you make them pop, ask shooting some, but it's hard to be a bad center. But really, with my opinion, guard wise, you want to start off the game being good, It's better off you make a small guard over a tall guard. Because tall guards, the three ball is not going to be as high. The dribble is not going to be as good. We don't know what the best sigs are just yet. It's safer to be better on a tall guard patch one than it is on a short guard patch one than a tall guard. Tall guards, everybody gonna feel like the men of the best moves and stuff. We don't know what the cheese is just yet. But small guard wise, you already unlock everything. You can majority of times put on Curry. Your three balls gonna be in the high 80s or 90s. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more of a guarantee that you're gonna be able to shoot better. You're gonna better shooting better. You're gonna have a higher three ball. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to use a short guard at the beginning of the year. 100%.
Layup packages, jump shot bases, dunk packages. There's a lot more that goes into it as opposed to a center. You're really just making sure you got the attributes and the badges that you want. Sure, there's some dunk packages and jump shot bases you want to get, but they're at much lower attribute thresholds, and you're pretty much going to have access to all of them as a big man. So make the low risk build first. Let everybody else make mistakes with the higher risk builds. Take in that information, make the tweaks that you need, and then make your higher risk build a few days later. Next is make sure.
That's what I plan on doing. I plan on making me a low risk build, a guard, small guard, 6'4", easy, 5'3", high playmaking, decent defense. You know what I'm saying? Later on, I'll figure the game out and I see what's going on. I'll make me a tall guard, but I ain't gonna be the buffoon to make it first though, because you don't know what the meta is. Small guards are always gonna be good. Tall guards not a guarantee.
You actually understand what each attribute contributes to when it comes to gameplay. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and it's clear they don't actually understand what each attribute means. For example, putting up your mid-range also is your post-fade rating. Putting up your agility will not affect how quick you are with the ball in your hands. Agility is only for off-ball movement and defense. Putting up your close shot will also raise your post hook rating. Make sure you understand what the attributes actually mean so that when you're putting up attributes for your build, you're actually creating the build you want to play on and optimizing it to its fullest potential. We've touched on this one a little bit when it came to the cap breakers, but pay attention to your physicals. Height, weight, and wingspan affect the attribute limits of your build. Make sure the physicals you select allow you to get the attributes and badges that you want to unlock to optimize your build. Also this year, pay attention. The maximum wingspan now is 6 inches above whatever height you choose. I don't know why they did that. Also pay attention that some of the attribute caps have changed based on height and wingspan. Taller players and players with longer wingspans now have access to higher 3-point ratings. That's just one example. Make sure you're paying attention to your physicals and what it allows you to unlock on your build. Create a build to fit the game modes that you like to play. If you like to play on the 1v1 court, you're not going to need pass accuracy on your build. But if you're somebody who likes to play 5v5 rec or pro-am, pass ac might be more of a necessity. Same.
A lot of 2Ks is common sense. Some of y'all be acting like y'all don't got no common sense, but I'm always gonna drop videos for y'all no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grow. We trying to go, we trying to get them. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all how I feel, you know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta have some common sense. Tighten up.
Thing that goes with free throw. If you're only a park player, you're not gonna need free throw on your build. But if you're somebody that likes to dabble in the rec or 5v5 pro-am, you might want to raise that free throw rating. Create a build specific to the game modes that you want to play that will allow you to optimize it to its fullest potential. Also create a build that fits the teammates you like to play with. And I know some of you are saying, Joe, I play random rec or random theater. I don't know who I'm going to be playing with. You still know the types of people that enter those courts a lot.
Like if you play random rec with people, you don't got a friend group, make a shooter. Everybody on rec wants to be a slasher. I promise you, everybody on rec wants to be a slasher. The old heads, the youngins, the YNs, they all want to be slashers. Make a shooter.
Of the times. If you're a center that likes to play 5v5 comp pro-am, maybe making an inside center might be a viable option because you're playing with a bunch of guys.
That's probably the best advice I can ever give y'all. Make a shooting build. I don't care if you're a rec player, a park player, a stage player, a comp player. Make a shooting build. It could be a shooting guard, it could be a point guard, it could be a center. A build that can space the floor at the 3-point is always useful on 2K. Every 2K. There's not one 2K where you can't make a sharpshooter and it not be useful. You make you a little 3-and-D, high 3, decent defense, you're always going to be useful somewhere. Friend group always going to need you. Friend group, or if you're random in the park, got on to play with, people will always need you. If you want to play with a YouTuber and he's a guard that cooks up and he wants you to spot up, there you go. If you play with randoms walking the wreck and on to play with, you say hi.
that want to 3-hunt and dance around screens, and you being able to just crash the boards and get all the dunks in the paint is of value. But if you're a random rec player, you know a lot of people in there are trying to cut back door and slash to the basket and dunk and layup and do all that stuff. You're going to want to be able to shoot on your center so that you can bring the other team's center away from the hoop, or if they leave you open, you're going to be able to knock it down. Create a build to not only fit the game modes you want to play, but to fit with the teammates or the randoms that you're going to be hooping with. Pay attention to takeover when creating your build. There is custom takeover this year, which allows you to select whatever 3 attributes you want to boost. If you decide to select 2 or 1 attributes, you'll receive an even bigger boost to those attributes. But pay attention to the takeover abilities, what they do, and more importantly, what attribute thresholds you need to reach to unlock those abilities. Let's say you're planning on making a custom takeover to not only boost your shooting attributes, but you want one of the shooting takeover abilities like Deep Bomber. If you don't meet the attribute requirements to unlock the Deep Bomber ability, you're not going to be able to use that in your custom takeover. Make sure you're paying attention to the takeover thresholds and meet the attribute requirements to unlock them. And probably the most important tip I can give you when it comes to making a build: create a build that you want to play on. You specifically. I don't care what YouTuber or TikTok, or if your mom told you to make a certain build, make a build that you want to play on. I can't tell you how many times I made a build and somebody told me that build's trash because this, that, and the third, and then I'm out there dropping 50 points per game on it.
And that is true too, because me myself, when I make builds, I look at the friend group, I look at YouTubers. I've been doing research. I don't know why I'm on. I just be like this. I do have a research when I make builds, and I make over 10 builds every year, over 10. When this game drops, I'm gonna have like 3 mil VC. So straight build videos coming out for y'all, straight tips and tricks coming out for y'all. But when I make builds, I make builds strictly based off me. So I look at other people's and I get their little 10 cents, and I put my whole 50 cents in. You know what I'm saying, to make $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always make a build based off. I don't upgrade free throw. I play guard. I play center. Mainly, that's my main 2 positions. I play guard and center. When I play guard, I don't upgrade passing. I don't upgrade free throw. My dunk usually always at 80. My 3 and playmaking is always high. My defense is high. That could be on a small guard, a mid guard, or a tall guard. That's how all my builds be. That's just my play style. I like scoring majority of points. I like playing on ball. And I can always dunk with 80 dunk, you know what I'm saying? When I play big man, my big man passing be higher than my guard builds. My big mans, I like playing mad deep. My big mans be rim protectors that can shoot. They be like rim sharps, rim stretches. I like playing mad defense on my centers. I like playing on ball when I play center. I made like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" centers that can play on ball. And then I also set screens and roll on offense, and I can pop. That's how I make my center builds. You know what I'm saying? And they always have a decent passing, depending on how the passing is on the game. That's just my play style, though. So no matter what, you can look at your favorite YouTuber, get the little 10 cents in, but make sure you make your own little cents in to get to $1.
A build that fits the way you want to play, fits your play style, and you'll find a way to be successful on it. Sure, listen to build videos and take information from them, but at the end of the day, you got to create a build that you actually want to play on and a build that fits how you want to play. I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all want more help when it comes to NBA 2K26, click that video on the screen right there. I guarantee you it'll make you a
I didn't watch the Mike Lang video, and John knows, but I feel like it was a great video. I didn't watch it, though. All right, on to the next person. We got Golden Man. 15 mistakes to avoid when making your build on 2K25. What's the title of his? 10 mistakes to avoid when creating your MyPLAYER. Do they got the same title? Damn near. I make mine something similar. Fuck it, you know?
Around the corner, and I know you guys are super excited about creating your first build, but I want to give you guys 15 mistakes that you guys need to avoid when creating your first build, or really any future builds. So if you find this video helpful, just leave a like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. The first mistake to avoid is not paying attention to your max potential attributes. And you're going to see your max potential attributes on the MyPLAYER builder screen, and your max potential attributes change when you change your height, weight, and wingspan. So if you're gonna be making your first build based on cap breakers, whether that's through build specialization, whether that's through a cap breaker at level 40 in the first season, like as a reward, you have to pay attention to your max potential attributes. So if you take a look at this build, the max potential driving dunk rating you can get is a 96. So this is the mistake a lot of people do. They'll upgrade their build. They'll upgrade, let's say their driving dunk up to a 96 at their max potential. And let's say they have 3 cap breakers. Now, instantly they may think, oh, now I can get my driving dunk, up to a 99 after I put the 3 cap breakers on it. But that's not the case. You can,
Lord, compass. Let's go.
if you're going to be basing your build off of, by putting attributes in random places that do not meet badge requirements. For example, this is my 6'8" shooting guard build that I uploaded yesterday. Check it out. It's a really good build. If you take a look at the speed with ball rating right now, it's a 72. Okay. Now the reason you shouldn't put this at 72 or 71 or 73, it's you're just putting it in a random attribute. You want to meet a badge requirement. Okay. So I'm going to upgrade this build, or the speed with ball. So
Yeah, whenever I make a build, I always make sure it meets a certain battle requirement. Only time it doesn't is because if I drop it 2 or 3 because of my cap breakers. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all making y'all build based off cap breakers, put it to where you want it to be without the cap breaker, and then drop it 2 or 3 like you have cap breakers, and put that somewhere else. Put them upgrade somewhere else.
sorry, I'm going to upgrade it to 75. And as you guys can see, my lightning launch just went up from bronze. Take a look at the bottom. And it goes up to silver once you meet at a 75 speed with ball rating. Another example is pass accuracy. A lot of people may see a 70 pass accuracy and be like, I think that's good enough. I can just go with that. But you're literally 1 attribute away from silver dimer. So I'm going to upgrade it, and it goes from bronze to silver dimer. So all I'm saying is you just want to meet badge requirements, within the attributes when upgrading your first build. And I think going with a 72 pass accuracy would be kind of dumb, because you're really not meeting that next threshold for dimer. You can literally apply this with any attribute. Now, the only attributes I really wouldn't apply to this, to be honest, is the 3-point shot and probably the agility rating. 3-point rating, if you're a tall build like a center and you're mainly like an inside that likes to dunk and you want to have like a decent 3-point rating, going with a 74 or 75 is probably worth it. But yeah, all the other attributes, be mindful, meet those badge requirements. The third mistake you want to avoid is by not paying attention to attribute requirements for animations, like any type of animation. For example, if you really want the Jimmy Butler pass style, it requires an 85 pass accuracy rating. So when you're making your build, you need to keep that in mind. For another example, if you want the Jalen Brunson pass style, you got
Pass styles matter. I've never messed with this. I'm new. I'm not new, but I might as well be new. I've never used pass styles. Is this game breaking pass styles?
to have a 90 pass accuracy rating. So again, keep this in mind when creating your build. Do not rush your build in 2K26, guys. Please get in the lab it up, figure it out. Another example is contact dunks. A lot of people put their driving dunk up to like a 96 and they forget to upgrade their vertical. So make sure you pay attention to the attribute requirements for the dunk animations as well, and for the contact dunks. The fourth mistake you want to avoid when creating your build is by not planning out which build specialization you're going to be using on your build. So remember, if you want to unlock finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, rebounding, you have to meet these attribute
You can get up to 3
requirements as shown right here in this screenshot. And remember, at goal 8 and these attribute
I didn't know that. Requirements. Well, that's easy though. 60 to 60, 60, 60. That's easy. You get 3. I thought you only get 2, right? It's not 3.
requirements as shown right
It's showing 3 right here though. Unless I'm tweaking.
here in this screenshot. And remember, at goal 8 in every single build specialization, you are going to unlock your second cap breaker. So in my opinion, your first build or any future build, you need to be making your build based off of 2 cap breakers for that build specialization. And also, if you go with shooting build specialization, you can only put your cap breakers from your build specialization in shooting attributes or physical attributes. So if you unlock, your second cap breaker in the shooting build specialization, you cannot put that specific cap breaker in finishing or playmaking or defense. You can only use it in shooting or the physicals. So keep that in mind. Don't waste your money. The fifth mistake you want to avoid is by picking useless heights for your build. When picking your height, you really want to think about the attributes you want and what they're going to get you. Will they get you badges, or are they going to get you animations? Keep that in mind. For example, at the point guard position, I think there is no reason to go 6'5" or 6'7", and let me tell you why. For example,
I 100% agree with him. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? I wish I thought of that to say. That's a fact. There's no point of making a point guard if you're going to be 6'5". There's nothing special about being 6'5". Nothing special about being 6'7". You might as well go 6'6". You get the same shit and you're a little bit taller. Being taller on 2K makes a difference. Same thing with 6'7". It's the same thing as 6'8". You get the same badges. You just taller at 6'8", so might as well go 6'8".
Well, at 6'5", you cannot equip the Ja Morant dribble style, which in my opinion is one of the best dribble styles and fastest dribble styles in the game. Now look, you meet the speed with ball requirement. Okay, it only requires an 85 speed with ball. You have an 86. However, you have to be 6'4" or shorter to get this animation unlocked. This is the way I look at it. You're 6'5", you might as well just drop it to 6'4" and get all those really good animations that you can unlock at 6'4". But if you really want to go with a 6'5" point guard, the only reason you should is to get a 99 3-point rating. Okay, that is the tallest you can go in 2K26.
That's not a fact. See, look, you can get that at 6'6". You didn't even know that.
And get a 99 3-point rating. Another example is the 6'7" point guard. I just don't like this height at all. The tallest you can go and get an 86 speed with ball to unlock gold lightning launch is 6'6". And I could be wrong, but I just feel like if you're gonna go 6'7", you might as well either go 6'6" to get the 86 speed with ball to unlock gold lightning launch, or you just go 6'8" and go with a 75 speed with ball. And if you want to use your max +2, you know, on that, you could get that up to Hall of Fame if you want. Now, the only reason I would say go 6'7" is for a couple reasons. Number one is because that is the tallest you can go at the point guard position. So if you really want to play the point guard role, you know, in fives, rec, pro-am, random rec, you want to be 6'7" and go as tall as you can, then do that. And if you really want to go 6'7", the only other reason to go that height is because I think that's the tallest you can go to get gold handles for days, you know, with a 90 to 91 ball handle rating. The sixth mistake you want to avoid when creating your build in 2K26 is by not prioritizing mid-range over your 3-point shot. Now, this is mainly for guards that are 6'6" or taller, or even popper builds, or any
I don't know, because I always put a 3-ball over me. So let's see why he said that.
type of center builds. The mid-range will give you more badges and it will save attributes. Now, I do not recommend doing this on any build that's like 6'4" or shorter. I definitely think you should go with a higher 3-ball and a lower mid-range. The high mid-range rating with those really high tier shooting badges are going to accommodate for that lower 3-point shot rating. The seventh mistake you want to avoid when creating your build is by not planning it out based on the max +1s, the max +2s from the season pass, and your build specialization. When creating your build, you really need to pay attention which badges are tier 1 badges and tier 2 badges. For example, my build yesterday, I went with a 93 driving dunk and I have an 80 vertical, and I also have gold posterizer. However, I'm planning my build out. Once I unlock my build specialization within finishing, I'm going to use my max +2 from finishing's build specialization on gold posterizer. Again, it's going to make it go from gold posterizer to legend. Okay, so again, guys, plan your build based on these max +1s, tier 1, max +2s, tier 1, tier 2, and also your max +1 and max +2 from your build specialization. I know that sounds confusing, but stay with me, lock it in, don't waste money.
Y'all confused?
Come on. The eighth mistake you want to avoid is by not paying attention to the attribute requirements for a specific takeover that you want. For example, if I wanted the Fortress takeover with the glue ability, I wouldn't be able to get this. I do meet the requirement for the steal rating. If you guys can see at the bottom right, I have an 85 steal, so I meet that requirement. However, I only have an 83 perimeter defense rating, and it requires an 85. So keep that in mind. Pay attention. Look at the takeover abilities, the takeover requirements. Lock it in. Don't waste your money. The ninth mistake you need to avoid is by thinking you don't need a steal rating or a block rating. Now, for all my lockdown defenders, obviously this does not apply to you. This really applies to all my footers out there, my 7-foot builds or taller, or the little guards. There's a lot of big man and centers out there that prioritize the block rating and the interior defense rating, which is good, but you need to keep in mind the steal rating is very good. There's a lot of big men out there that know they can't get like a 92 or a really super high steal rating, so they just don't even upgrade it. But
which I hate, bro, because I always upgrade steal on my big man, but when I play with certain friends, they do not like upgrading their steal. I just don't get it.
In my
opinion, you got longer wingspan too, so you don't need red interceptor if you got 7'7" 7'3" wingspan. You know what I'm saying? If I'm 6'4" with red interceptor, but you're 7'2" with silver interceptor, it's probably damn near equal because your wingspan.
You need to upgrade it to at least 60 so you can get bronze interceptor. That it comes in handy. It helps out a lot. Another example, little guards, all my little 6'4", 6'2", 6'1" guards out there. You guys think I'm already short, you know what I mean? I don't need a block rating. That is not true, okay? A lot of people think block rating is only going to help you literally get a block inside the paint when someone's trying to go up with a dunk or a layup. But the block rating helps perimeter contest as well. So yeah,
I
little guards,
didn't know
upgrade
that.
your block, please. And centers, upgrade your steal up to a 60. The 10th mistake you want to avoid is by not putting your ball handle rating up to an 85 at the minimum, okay, at the point guard position or any type of point guard role. A few weeks ago on Twitter, Mike Wang said to get the tier 3 momentum crossover, which is one of the most effective moves in the game, it requires an 85 ball handle rating or higher. And this type of information is not in the builder, so keep that in mind, guys, okay? 85 ball handle or higher. But if you want the slightly slower tier 2 momentum crossover, you got to have a 60 ball handle or higher. And if you want the tier 1 momentum crossover, which is by far the slowest, you just got to have below, you know, a 60 ball handle rating. So if you want that, go for it. The 11th mistake you want to avoid is by overlooking your physical attributes. For example, even though the agility rating itself is not tied into Shifty Shooter with the badge this year in 2K26, it doesn't mean that you should not upgrade it. Agility is going to be very good for off-ball cuts on offense, you know, dexing back and forth, and is very good for defense as well. Another example is vertical. A lot of big men overlook this. They think just because they upgrade their rebounding up to 99 or 96 that vertical really doesn't matter, and it does, because first off, you have to have a certain vertical rating to get, you know, rebound chaser or a lot of the rebound badges. And just in general, vertical is very good because it helps you jump higher. So yeah, don't overlook speed, agility, strength, or vertical. The 12th mistake.
I wish I did YouTube on 25. I had a 6'7" popper that had like 90 vertical on it. And I only had like 84, 85 rebound, whatever gold hustle is. I had gold hustle, my 6'7" popper at 90 vertical, and I used to get rebounds over on the inside something. It's like my 6'7" was so big, and he had like 89 speed because he was 6'7" popper.
You want to avoid is by not considering upgrading the very cheap attributes for your build. For example, this build is a 6'8" shooting guard build, and I'm a 98 overall at the moment, and I'm going to bring my offensive rebound from a 25 all the way up into the 70s. So now I'm going to get a badge like Rebound Chaser on bronze, and I'm going to get Box Out Beast on silver. Yes, these badges aren't going to be as good as, you know, Rebound Chaser on legend or whatever, but still, it's very cheap, and why not put it on? The 13th mistake.
Would have to going against another 6'8" guard. If he's going to get 6'8" against 6'8" guards, and he has hustle silver or bronze compared to another guard that has no hustle at all, it's gonna make a difference.
You want to avoid is by thinking the max +2 badge perks will save your bronze badges. For example, if you go with a 60 still rating, you're going to unlock bronze interceptor. And there's going to be some people that think I could just use my max +2 on bronze interceptor, get it up to gold, and now I'm going to be in the lanes. I'm going to be hawking the passes.
I thought that. Did we all think that?
And I don't think that's going to be true. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was an interview with Mike Wang and Joe Knows, and Mike Wang said that the attribute ratings still matter. So for example, I think a 60 still rating, getting bronze interceptor, using your max +2 to get gold interceptor is going to be completely different from an 85 still rating and getting naturally that gold interceptor badge. That 85 still rating alone is going to be incredibly better than a 60 still rating. So keep that in mind. Don't waste your max +2s, or don't rely on the max +2s to save the lower ratings. The 14th mistake you want to avoid when creating your build is by not making your build based off the game modes that you play. For example, if you play 1s or if you play 2s, please, I cannot stress this enough. Put your perimeter defense up, put your steal rating up, put your block rating up, put your interior defense up. It's very important if you play 1s or 2s like that. However, if you do play point guard, you know, on the 3s courts with a full squad, maybe you don't need as much defense as you think because you're going to be playing with another lockdown defender on the court. So be mindful of creating your build based on the game modes that you do play. And the 15th mistake you want to avoid is not double checking your attributes, aka min-maxing your build. Take a look at the mid-range rating and take a look at the close shot. They are tied together. I'm going to upgrade my mid-range up to a 93, and notice how my close shot goes up to a 78 as well. However, if I do want to cap break the mid-range rating, I'm going to bring it down to a 92. Boom. Okay. Now notice the close shot is still a 78. And this is what I mean by min-maxing every build. Instead of leaving the close shot rating at a 78, I'm going to go all the way over and put it back down to a 77, just like that. So I save more attributes for other areas on my build. But these are the 15 mistakes you need to avoid when
this is good to some people really might not know about stuff like
creating your first build or any future builds in 2K26. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys leave a like. And
man, shout out to Cole. I said Cole. Shout out to Cole and Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because they gave good tips, good tricks. Majority of the stuff I knew, some of them I didn't know. This is for people that didn't know nothing. So if this helped y'all, drop a like, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys getting 2K on the first day on Friday? Are y'all gonna get it on Friday, or y'all gonna wait next week after? Y'all getting there earlier or what? Let me know. But his video says 15 mistakes to avoid. I'm gonna do the same thing they did. 10 mistakes. I'm gonna put 25 mistakes to avoid when creating your MyPLAYER build. I'm doing what they did. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's your boy Bright, aka C Boy. We out.